Hey gang. So, despite recent announcements from Palladium, Matthew and I are still playing some Robotech. We're going up to a full 300 points tonight. We're going to play the Destruction mission, and we're having face-off deployment. Matthew is defending his military bunker here, his awesome underground hangar. I will be trying to destroy it. I'll be deploying on this side of the board. Matthew will be deploying over here. We'll come back with Army List. Matthew decided after the last game he was not a fan of Destroids and wasn't messing around. He's going full Valkyries. So here's what we've got. We've got one Valkyrie squad, attached with the VF-1S, piloted by Roy Fokker, and Max Sterling is in his 1A. The other squad is his Nerve squad, totally inspired by Evangelion, and nothing special, just a standard Valkyrie squad attached with the 1S. Both of the Valkyrie squads have heavy missiles on them. I get to continue being the Zentradi Armada, so I'm running a pair of attack squads and an artillery squad. My first attack squad with the red Glog has Azonia. My other attack squad with the green Glog has Grell. And the artillery, so they have missiles. That's all they have. They're just a missile squad. They're not. They're awesome missile people. You've got missiles. Gonna make you eat them words, boy. Yeah. It's not a ball, that's Gundam. You shut it.
Wait.
Let's get fighting.
Okay.
We'll be back after turn 1. We've wrapped up turn 1. So, the structure, the bunker that the UEDF is defending is at 222. Thanks to Grell... No, I'm sorry. Azonia put a shot on it over here. And then my heavy artillery pods pounded it. Missile defense systems did no good. And he did not spend command points to have it. So, I don't know. Didn't want to. Felt it was all right. Down here, the Ava-inspired squad's VF-1S has taken a pounding. He's down to 4 points of damage. The Brownie Ben tried to fire a blast, was shot down by the anti-missile system on Grell's attack squad. Max targeted Grell himself, who had some good cover. The blast scattered and blew up on the backboard, so it hurt nothing. Roy fired on some pods, but the missiles were shot down or missed. They did take out one battle pod. He was outside of Grell's command range, so he could not bring him back this turn, at the start of turn 2. So his Valkyries have started to break off and are moving out to take out battle pods. Down here we've got Rick and Miria coming up under the bridge in Guardian. The Oscar-looking mech is still back here in Battleoid. I think he's kind of just waiting for me to come into range. So we'll see. Turn 2 is going to be a little more interesting. He's going to have a lot better range, and we'll see what kind of firepower he brings to bear to clean up. My heavy artillery pods are out of missiles, so now they're just going to sit back there to be cheerleaders and give me command points. I'm going to have to get those light artillery pods up board a little bit before they can do any good. We're moving into 2, so we'll see how it goes. I'm feeling pretty good. I think I can put 222 points of damage on there if I can get my light artillery pods up there to start pounding on it. But we will see. 10 Valkyries is intimidating. Alright, we wrapped up turn 2.
Oh.
So, still not a dead Valkyrie on board. Some almost dead Valkyries on board. They've done some pounding on them with the attack squads. The artillery squad got in the range. They unloaded all their missiles into the building. You may notice that the damage counter has not changed. One of the volleys missed. The other 3 volleys, the bunker rolled a 6, a 5, and a 5 and shot them down. The Battleoid group here opened up and did clear out some of these battle pods and tapped Azonia with a little love. But nothing critical yet.
Besides me blowing up half of your forces.
We're going to have to work on your math skills. You haven't got to half yet. But
I'm close.
We are moving into turn 3. So now it's getting a little more dangerous for me in regards to blowing up that structure. It's a lot of damage to put down in 3 turns.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens.
Good luck.
All right. We just wrapped up turn 3. Attrition is starting to set in. The Zentradi Empire with Life is Cheap is swarming battle pods back onto the table that these Valkyries are popping. 3 of them slipped around and assassinated the VF-1S back here. The one that was painted like Unit 3. That cost a stack of command points. Then the Grell's team moved forward, and as Matthew had expended so many command points trying to keep everything else alive, they were able to vaporize both Max and Ben.
Sad.
Well, Max actually Ben's Valkyrie. Matthew is bound and determined to protect Ray back here for some reason.
Operation Protect Ray and Nami.
Okay. He's bound and determined. They have done a great job. They cleared out Azonia's entire Regalt squad. She's just hiding out behind the building here and has taken some damage.
Who's the weak link now?
Roy's about half dead.
He's a boss. Who cares?
Rick is uninjured.
Rick is fine.
And Miri is uninjured.
No.
Shinji's about half dead.
Asuka's fine.
Ray's about half dead. Orange Ray and Asuka are unscathed. Grell is unscathed, and most of his Regalt squad is still intact, moving up board. The artillery squad, half of them managed to land hits this past turn, bringing the building's total down to 112. So,
that's turn 4.
Going into turn 4, I'm feeling a lot better about my chances. Unless you can assassinate these artillery pods, it might be game over for you.
Can I tell you my plan real quick?
You can tell me anything, son.
If we get all our command points back at turn 4, correct?
Yes.
So my plan is spend 4 of these command points and burst all of these, and then go to Rick, spend 2 of these command points, go for those, and then Roy will go for the glog, and then Shinji will
Listen.
Shinji will
what you need to focus on
is killing.
No. Right here, my artillery pods are what's going to tear up your building.
And once Shinji gets up here with the glog, he can take the artillery pods out.
You're gonna have to move on, because
that stupid Life cheap.
Those glogs. If you don't take out some of those artillery pods, they could end the game next turn. Because if I blow up that structure, it's game over.
I have to manage the glogs too, because the glogs.
You don't though. No, those don't get regenerated.
Oh, what?
Those are artillery pods. They only regenerate. They only regenerate the standard tactical battle pods.
Oh, you never told me that. Okay.
That's why, because they have to be within 8 inches of a glog for that to work.
Oh.
So that's why these guys are just hanging back.
That's why that guy didn't get revived.
Right.
Oh. Okay, that's much more.
These actually generate command points for me too.
Oh, so you're saying you lose about.
So if you killed those four pods, that would cut me down to actually having to shoot that thing to death. And that's a lot less damage I can put out.
Oh, wow.
So you really need to be focusing on those artillery pods.
Yeah.
You didn't have an opportunity before because you had they had battle pods screening them.
Yeah, I couldn't really do anything.
But yeah, you're going to have to make a push. You might have to sacrifice.
I have a plan.
Okay.
I got a plan.
All right. Well, tell you what. Let's dice off for turn 4 and see what your plan looks like. Twerk. Turn 4 is over. So, yeah, this is getting interesting. The structure is at 28 damage. But a well-placed missile by Ray with the blast on it did eliminate 3 of my 4 light artillery pods.
Which really helped me because this game would have probably already ended.
Yep.
If Ray... That's why Operation Ray was going on. Because Ray was the only one with missiles.
So, what we've got going on is the swarm of Valkyries here. The battle pods are still moving up the board. I've got 3 that Grell can bring back on. Won't make a huge difference because they can't get in range to attack anything. So we'll just probably save those command points to try to keep them going. 28 is not a lot of damage.
20 isn't not.
If you pop that artillery pod, though, that does make it a chunk of damage to get cleared.
Is would this be possible? If I were to transform Way into a jet and Shinji to hop on top of her.
No.
Aww,
That would not be possible.
That should be allowed. Jetception, then Shinji can hop off and blast.
You know what, though? Anyone you transition in the Guardian should be able to get that thing in a clear shot.
Yeah.
And 2 shots would be enough to pop it.
True.
So.
2 big shots, that's for sure.
Yeah, so what you need to do is win initiative, because if I win initiative, I'm going to shoot some missiles.
My plan originally was to transform Rey into a jet, and for her to go, yeah, and then shoot, and then have Shinji and all the other ones shoot.
Well, let's roll up initiative and see what happens, and we'll see if this game ends really quick.
Hopefully not.
You ready?
No.
Well, let's do it anyways.
Okay.
Well, it went to turn 5. My first activation, the missile volley from the remaining artillery pod, struck home, halved it, and left the structure with exactly 1 point of damage.
Wait, it would be 0.5. It still has 5% of health. I could still kill them.
No, I did way more than that with the tactical pods.
All the
remaining Valkyries put up a valiant effort to try to clear out both Azonia and a number of the battle pods here.
I did clear out Azonia. She's dead.
But Grell, right there, and his remaining battle pods obliterated the structure.
They're all depressed now. All the Valkyries are depressed.
All the Valkyries are dead.
Now they're depressed.
And you stare into the abyss. Oh no, you can see my camera. That just ruined the illusion of everything, didn't it? Well, that was a tight game.
It was. I enjoyed it.
That went. I mean, that went all the way to the end.
If you didn't have those vlogs, I would probably stand a more.
If I didn't have those vlogs, brother, I wouldn't have any command points.
Yeah, but if you didn't have those vlogs with the command points, I still would have stood a little chance because that stupid life after death thing.
Life is cheap.
Just to be fair.
Hey, listen. We had this conversation last time we played. With Life is Cheap, you have to make a play on dealing with those Glogs. You have to be
excessive with
willing.
them.
I think you did a lot better 10 Valkyries than you did last time when you had the Destroid squad.
Oh, I did not like the Destroids. The Destroids were too slow. They were too hard to handle, and they just were out of place in my battle positions. I'm not offending the Destroids. I love the Destroids. It's just they didn't fit in this battle.
Roy managed to hold on the entire game.
Roy did, as well as Shinji, Rey, and Asuka, Miria, and Rick. These are the dead ones. The dead ones are him.
Yeah,
Benjamin,
you know you're
Max.
She didn't die.
Rey's fine. And him.
Yeah,
3.
you lost 2 from the initial squad, and
That means
the commander from the...
7 out of 10 were still alive.
Yeah.
Show them what you got dead from my battle.
Oh well, dude, I've got Azonia and 3 artillery pods and 5 actual dead battle pods because they were out of range of their commanders. These guys are Life is Cheap, so they could have come back for a command point. But,
only 1 command point.
Well, they're an army of clones, dude. It takes 3 of these to be the equivalent to a Valkyrie. They're chintzy.
Kimchi? Kimchi is a South Korean national food.
Chintzy.
Oh, I thought you said kimchi.
They're delicious. Well, you have any thoughts on the game, dude?
What I think would have been, since that they have the whatever it's called.
Life is cheap.
Life is cheap. I think they should make it to 5 inches. Only because 8 inches is...
You know what? So there are rules. It has to be within 8 inches, and they have to have line of sight.
It should be at least 5 inches.
Well, they have to have line of sight, which means typically if they're around the building or something, it doesn't work. But that's the cool thing about Grell and why I took him. That because I had 10 points, so I could fit in 2 commanders. Grell doesn't have to have them in line of sight.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh no, it's great.
Well, for you.
Hey, you know what?
For me, it sucks.
You make me play Zentradi, so I gotta take what I can get. You definitely. It's funny. I think Valkyries would be harder to master, but you seem to do a lot better with them than you do.
I have an idea for our next video. Ava Squad versus regular Valkyries.
I'd go back to a skirmish and do Valkyrie on Valkyrie action.
Valkyrie on Valkyrie action.
Little Macross Plus style.
Macross, yeah. Evangelion versus Macross. Obviously, Macross would lose. They're just giant robots. Evangelions are living beings before the human race.
Maybe I should do another Valkyrie squad and paint them up like mobile suits.
Gundam is a Macross for saving Evangelions.
Yeah. Ava's are more the super robot genre of anime. You can't put them in the mobile suit in the Valkyrie conversation we can have, because that's more of a
it's like, oh, I found my
the military
field.
Anime style, but
The mobile suit
but
and
less musings of your fan fiction and more on your thoughts on the game.
I had fun with it. I think it's fun. It's a fun game. It's definitely, I don't know how to put drop. I'm comparing it to Drop Zone.
Well, Drop Zone's the only experience you have, so that's all you're going to compare it to. Drop Zone's
King
probably
of Tokyo, kind of. King of Tokyo. It's similar to King of Tokyo too.
Well, King of Tokyo is a board game.
True. This is a board game too.
This is a
game.
tabletop war game.
It's a game on a board.
That's not a board. That is a table, son.
Which is a board.
Shush it. Don't speak upon things upon which you have no understanding.
If weapon.
What? You weirded me out, kid.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know if I told you. The company that makes this, Palladium Books, of which I have a bunch of Rifts books for and whatnot, announced that they've lost the license for the game, so that it will no longer be made.
What?
Yep.
I was looking forward to buying it.
Well,
This
I have a lot
sucks.
of unbuilt stuff, so we still have quite a bit of stuff to build.
I want to paint my own.
And I have acquired some 3D files for the stuff that has not been released. What are you doing?
I have no idea. What about an Attack on Titan themed one?
No. I've yet to watch that.
I've already watched it 3 times.
Well, that's because you're a child and I don't give you any responsibilities.
No, you really don't.
I don't.
And yet, you haven't managed to watch it once. And you say I'm picking my nose on YouTube.
I'm not on YouTube. You can't see me.
I
could shove this finger
This is your
into my
channel.
I could shove this finger up my nose so far and touch my eyeball and no one would know.
You
because
just said it.
But am I doing it?
No.
No one would know because they can't see me. I'm the man behind the camera. Little nose picker boy.
You probably picked your nose when you were little too.
Maybe I did. Maybe I picked my nose as a big guy. You don't know.
You do pick your nose as big.
I probably do. Yeah. Stop picking your nose. Hey.
Hey, what?
Any final thoughts on the game? Because it's way past your bedtime.
No, it's not. I don't have bedtime.
Yes, you both certainly do.
I do.
It's a good time, despite the fact that they have stopped producing. We have more than what we need. I've still got 9 sprues of Valkyries. I've still got.
You over excessively bought everything out.
Well, I picked up a Kickstarter pledge on eBay.
Oh wow!
So I got a lot of stuff out of that, and then I was given a starter worth of minis from Bob when his got destroyed in his basement, and I bought a starter. So
I think
we have a lot of stuff. I have some 3D files that Jordan's going to print for me. That'll get me a lot of the missing Zentradi units and a couple of the missing UEDF units. There's talk in the community that people are still going to support it and make more 3D files to get the rest of the pieces out for the game.
I'm glad that they can they still produce parts for it?
Palladium will not be able to make anything for the game. They will have to liquidate their stock by the end of March. So either when they liquidate it, there may be a bunch of it that comes on eBay really cheap, which would be a coinkydink. Or the price will shoot up because people will be like, it's not made anymore, it's collectible. We'll have to wait and see.
What I think they should do, what we should do with this, is shorten the amount of terrain. It was hard to get your actual person around the terrain.
Well,
I think it should be more like
you can fly. You fly 20. If you're in jet mode, you fly 24 inches in a single turn. You just always go into Battleoid mode first thing.
Because Battleoid's more stronger.
More stronger is not proper English.
Battleoid is stronger.
That is not really the case.
Okay. I just think it should be more war related, because if you watched the anime of it, it's more war related and. Stop sniffing your nose like that.
You have not watched Macross. In fact, your words were, "This looks old."
Because it is. It's the original. The original version.
Yeah. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
It's okay stuff.
You wound me.
Okay.
There. Making my heart hurt, kid. Alright, well, hey. This has gone on longer than it should have. I need to take you to bed, little boy.
Not that one.
Yeah, it's after midnight. I am a horrible parent. But I'll tell you what, if this hadn't been objective based, in the sense of we had to destroy the bunker there, I'm pretty sure you'd have won this, because 10 Valkyries is pretty vicious. If we did something like a pitched battle, you'd tear me up.
Pitched battle, I would tear you up. I would. I wanted to see me defend something.
You did an okay job.
I did.
I think if anything, I would have suggested that you, as dumb as this sounds, that you got more aggressive in your defense.
I was thinking that, but I was thinking that if I were to charge, I would be blindsided of killing you, and unlike protecting my base, and you guys would just slip around and start exploding it.
Well, that's the thing, though, with having all those Valkyries, though, is that you can get wherever you need to get very quickly.
Yes.
Because you can hop in the jet one turn and transition back the next turn and fill in gaps in your defense. And in Guardian mode, you still got the 10-inch move. So you can zip around the board quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
And your piloting's good enough in Guardian that it's not overly hard to get that double move. Mm-hmm. So it's 20 inches is half the board.
Yeah.
So, and it's, it's just learning how to plan your steps out a little further in advance, I think. I think you played well this game.
Yeah.
I don't think you utilized those blast missiles as well as you could have.
No, I didn't. You never told me that they were my rain deal. You never mentioned it.
Your rain deal.
My main
No.
Those.
I mean the missiles that your 8 of your Valkyries had, the long range blast missiles.
Oh.
You didn't.
Yeah, I didn't manage.
You weren't crazy about dumping those out.
I was trying to manage them because when they would start getting low, I was going to use all of them. But then you started advancing so quickly with many of these
you have
pods.
You have to not be afraid to move up board, because you can get up board so quickly. If you come out 12 inches, right, to start your deployment. You could stay in fighter, move 12 inches, and then afterburn another 12 inches. So then turn 2, you would transform and you'd be right here. You'd be in my backboard. And if you slip in the Guardian at that point and pivot 90 degrees, you're right there, lobbing missiles directly on. Now, if you don't kill me, I'm going to punch holes in that Valkyrie. But that's the gamble you got to take, because if you get back there and you dump a volley of missiles, and because you've got volley X, so you can either dump 8 missiles and hope. I would do 4 in case the volley gets shot down, and then if you survive, you can do it again next turn. Oh. But that puts you right up in the face and has to deal with you. Especially in a game like this, I would have had to have stopped and fired on you, because if I didn't, you were right behind me already, and you were going to continue firing.
I think a different strategy I'll try next time is having 2 separate squads of Valkyries, because there are 10 Valkyries, correct? That means,
well, there's 4 in the squad, and you attached a 1S.
So 2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 1, 10.
And if you don't attach the 1S's, you could still do your 8 Valkyries, and then do a Destroyed squad. Look at doing like an armored squad, so you have 4 Tomahawks, which they're slow, but in a game like this, you're going to park those 4 Tomahawks around this building just to shoot stuff as it comes in.
What I thought was a little stupid is half board. You have to have half of the board that you can only move. Like that corner from like right here.
That was the deployment option. So they suggested the game be played on a 6x4 table. Our entire table is only 6x4. All of my mats are drop zone mats. I bought them for drop zone, which is typically 4x4.
Yeah.
So we play probably on what would be considered a small table for this game. We could probably dial our games back to 200 points.
Yeah.
And the table would feel much better, because it does feel like there's a lot of units on this table.
Definitely.
So if we dialed back to 200 points, it would probably play a little more spread out.
Yeah.
I like densely populated tables. I do in Drop Zone. I do in this. I like it, and you should like it too, because what you need to also be concerned about is when you go into Battleoid mode is getting your mecha positioned on the corners of buildings here, so that half your mech is covered by the building, and that's increasing that 5 defense to a 6, making it harder to hit you.
Okay.
And utilizing that cover, which is what Azonia was doing that back there. Grell was doing that over here, where they were just creeping around the corner so that you could shoot at them, but it was harder. And with Grell, at one point, I had those battle pods all under that bridge in front of him, and he was behind that building. So, he was looking at that 7 armor that he had was going to a 9, makes him really hard to hit.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
But you're 9 years old.
And I'm tired.
And you're tired. We got a late start.
Yeah, definitely.
But you're learning.
Yeah.
I think you get better every game. This was not an easy win.
No, it was difficult. It was really, really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed easy at first.
And I don't know that this is a mission that is easy to play on the defensive side anyways. It strikes me as it would be a very big pain in the butt to play this. Regardless of what faction you're playing, I think it'd be hard to play this mission on the defensive side. Oh, well, you got 2. All right. Say goodnight, Matthew.
Yeah, good night. I liked this video. It was fun.
All right.
Definitely fun.
Well, hey, everybody. Thanks for watching this. If you stuck around this long, we appreciate it. If you would, go ahead and give us a like and a subscribe. Oh, you want to pick your nose right? Oh, you're scratching the side of it.
Let's try.
Zoom in on it. If you would, give us a like and a subscribe. We'll continue to make content for this. As long as this young man's interested in playing, I'll be interested in playing.
I really want to try this in Trotty the next time.
Gasp, what? I get to play Valkyries?
No, I'm kidding.
You suck.
I want to see how much it would be like to have more Valkyries.
More, you spec?
More, but you have the same amount of, like you're me, but I'm playing as a Valkyrie still, and I'm playing as you. I get more Valkyries, but you get less. Like, you have worst. Okay. You're playing as me.
You're getting tired.
No.
You want to do Valkyrie on Valkyrie actions, what you're saying.
No. You're playing as me, but I play as the Valkyries. You're still playing as the pods, but you have less pods than me, and I have more than you.
Well, that would just be me getting my butt kicked, though, because that takes away the balance of the game.
You have more powerful than me.
Well, there are better than Trotty units out there that if I can get the 3D printers going, like the female power armors are really good units.
Yeah.
And if I can get those, and they're 3 to a squad, and they cost the same as one of these. They cost more than one of these attack squads that I played tonight. So I get a few of those on the table, and then you'll be like, I hate those stupid things. So no win for you.
No win.
If I get some fighter pods, those would be nice. Or Zentradi infantry.
Zentradi, I think infantry will be.
Yeah. The UEDF isn't missing much. They're missing like Super Valkyries, which, in my opinion, really you're not missing them because the way you can spec these out, they're really good. There's a few other Valkyrie options that they're missing, and then the monster, which is a giant destroid, which is awesome. It's awesome, Matthew. Anyways, you need to go to bed. This video needs to wrap up because we're running super long, and as adorable as you are, people probably would rather have seen me going around the table and showing off mechs that you knocked over
Rather than me falling asleep.
rather than you falling asleep. So everybody, again, likes, subscribes are appreciated. Thanks for watching, and like I said, we'll keep cranking these out as long as people keep showing interest, and as long as the boy keeps showing interest. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, Expanders.